Hi, hello everyone. This is Soumya from Bookfeast channel. Today I'm gonna review on the topic The Hollow Crown, which is written by William Shakespeare. So when you talk about the topic The Hollow Crown, it has been apart from the play which is written by Shakespeare titled Richard II. So Richard II is an historical play where it talks about Richard II and his life. And when you go for the topic The Hollow Crown, have you ever thought why the title is given as a Hollow Crown? The, which mentions the specificness of the topic. Hollow is something which is not solid, where you can see only the outline, whereas the inner side seems to be empty. And crown, it is literally worn by the king. So here the whole poem talks about the hollow crown and the person who wears it. So especially here it is none other than Richard II. And before getting into this poem, we have to see the historical background and also the who is Richard, what is the life beyond him. We have to see that to get the whole essence of the poem. So whenever you come across a poem, whenever you read a poem, try to study the whole content. Never blankly study only the lines. You could have get many contributions, many thoughts, many opinions when you study the whole content. So when you go for the historical background, as I've told you that Shakespeare play titled King Richard II, which talks about the true events faced by Richard II, and it is towards the end of the 14th century. From that, one such specific lines are given as a poem. Richard II, he was crowned as a king of England in the year 1367, and he was in the post till 1399. During the year 1399, his whole kingdom was taken away, was cheated and taken away by Henry of Bolingbroke. So Henry of Bolingbroke, his cousin, he titled himself as the Henry IV. Shakespeare, he wanted to come up with the sufficient characters where Richard II or Henry Bolingbroke, he wanted to talk about the sufferings of Richard II. So hence, the poem and as well as the Richard II talks about a dramatic rendition of the last 2 years of the life of Richard II. So here, last 2 years or lifespan of Richard II is very tragic, where you can find it clearly in the poem which is spoken by the writer Shakespeare, where he resembles the character Richard II himself, the narrator. And he was removed from the royal position, he was sent to prison, and he died in captivity. He had no other good lives or no other any pleasure or encouragement, even enjoyment during his last 2 years of death. And when you go for the poem setting, the poem is taking a part in the place the coast of Wales. So Richard and his co-members, his followers literally, they were standing in the coast of Wales and they were waiting for the Welsh army. So Welsh army, it holds about 10,000 warriors. They were eagerly waiting for the army, but there comes a twist, where they comes to know that Welsh army is not coming in the order to support them or to save them. Instead, they want to fight against the person. Richard too, he comes to know this terrible fate he is gonna face again. So here, between the time of the Welsh army coming and before his death, it talks a poem. He talks a speech which is given here as a poem. And the whole verse, it talks about Hollow Crown. So it has been very popular speech in the theatrical circle. Here we are seeing it as a preference text. And the poem talks about the power of death, power of rulers, and also it clearly explains the state of a same person when he was king and when he was a commoner. What is the difference between the same person when he was a king and as well as a commoner? So before getting into this video, I just want to tell you that I have posted the particular content in Tamil also. If you are in need of that, please do refer the description for the link. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe our channel to get further more updates. We'll go over the writer's introduction. He was born in the year 1564 and he was passed away in the year 1616. He has been a great poet, playwright, dramatist as well as a theatre manager. He is a great writer in English language. He is known for the world's preeminent dramatist and is preeminent too. He was born in Stratford upon Avon. He has written about 39 plays, 154 sonnets and 2 long poems and also few other verses. He is known for his plays which were very popular, which depicts the reality of life. And he was often called as England's national poet. His nickname the Bard of Avon. Let's see the line by line explanation of the poem. Let's talk of graves, of worms and epitaphs. Make dust a paper and with rainy eyes. Write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills. So let's talk of graves. He says, let us talk. So let us, we may think, why is saying let us? He's accompanied by few kinds of followers who are royal to him. So he conversates with them. Let's talk of graves. So here we are going to talk of graves, graveyard, and the worms which is present there. Epitaphs is nothing but when a loyal person is passed away, there will be writings in a cemetery. So that is called epitaphs. Make dust a paper. So the second line seems to be a metaphor where he wanted to make dust as his paper and his tears as rainy eyes. So rainy eyes refers to his tears. Here mentions in the name of pen. When you start writing in a pen, it keeps on moving like that. His tears, it keeps on shedding. So he wanted us to make a note on his sorrow. See, so he expresses his guilt and sorrow. Write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. So bosom is the middle part, chest. So he wanted to write all this sorrow which was faced by him in his life in the bosom of the earth, in a earth's bosom. Let's choose executors and talk of will. So executors is the one who literally we can say lawyer at present stage. In olden days we can say ministers, kings or the royal person. So he wanted to choose executors. What for? In order to take of wills, in order to give his property by will to someone. And yet not so, for what we bequeath, save our deposed bodies to the ground. And he says, I wish to give something to my upcoming generation. But what do I own? What can we bequeath? I have nothing in my hand. Save our deposed bodies to the ground. I have only my deposed. So deposed is removed from something. Here he stresses that he was removed from the empire, from the ruling, from the kingdom. So now only he has his own body with him. That too it will be deposed a few days. It will be buried to the ground. Because we come to know that the Welsh army is arriving to kill all the person. So he will be dead. And the whole poem, it talks between the Welsh army's arrival and his death. Our lands, our lives and all are Bolingbroke's. So he says, why he don't have anything? He was certainly thrown out of the kingdom. He was not even given a time to come up with his consciousness. He was thrown away out of the kingdom. So all his lands, all his life and all, everything he has, it was taken by Henry of Bolingbroke, who is none other than his cousin. And nothing can we call our own but death. So nothing I can call that is owned by me, that is only for me. Only thing that stays for me is my death, and in few days, within few hours, it will also be taken. And that small model of the barren earth which serves as paste and cover to our bones. Small model here talks about the flesh in the human body. So that small model of the barren earth, it is in the empty earth. See, barren earth. Where barren earth, it talks about barren. When do we say barren? When something is lack, we used to say the barren, the word. The land is very barren, which talks about his difficulties and his problems. The land is very barren, and on the earth there stands a small model. So that is his flesh. His flesh, which serves as paste and cover. So his flesh, it is serving as a paste and outer cover for his bone. So his bone, everyone's bone is covered by flesh. I mean the skin. So he talk about it. For God's sake, let us sit upon the ground. So for the God's sake, let us sit on the ground and tell sad stories of dead kings. And let us talk about these sad stories. So he gives a clue that he is in a very sorrowful mood. He wanted to talk about the sad stories. What your mind psychology is, what your mind status will be talking about it. So he wanted to talk about sad stories of the dead kings. So he says even his life was also compared to the sad story of the dead kings. He's gonna die and his life too turned as a sad story. Let's see. The first one seems to be how some have been deposed. So deposed is throwing out of a kingdom. How kings were thrown out of the kingdom. Some slain in war. Some were killed in the war. Some haunted by the ghosts they have deposed. So here you can have two literal meaning. One meaning is when a king was thrown out of the kingdom and next king takes over the charge, the present king starts feeling guilty. His guilt conscious talks as like that he has been mistaken. So there he sees the ghost. So who's a ghost? Who was a past king which was killed by the present king. So the present king, he feels that he was haunted. The place was haunted by the ghost. It is nothing ghost, but it is his guiltiness. So it is one such meaning. And when you go for the other meaning, he compares the king who wanted to cheat and get away the kingdom to the ghost. So what for he talk about ghost? Ghost is known for its evilness. So here he compares Henry Bolingbroke to ghost. Not only Henry Bolingbroke, but also the other kings who have cheated the kings and took away the kingdom. The author, he never wanted to mention by the name. So he mentions in this manner, some poisoned by their wives, and some of the king, they were poisoned by their wives. What for? After the death of a king, automatically the queen will be the higher authority. So many queens, they come forward to kill the king. Some sleeping killed, some were killed while they were sleeping. All murdered for within the hallowed crown. So every one of them were murdered. What for? Only for the hallowed crown. Not even the precious crown, the hallowed crown. That rounds the mortal temples of a king. So mortal temples here talks about the forehead and the backside of the head, where all your conscious, from conscious to subconscious mind, everything will be stored in the head. So the crown that rounds here, that talks about the hallowed crown. So the hallowed crown, literally it is worn in the head, where it covers the front and back head. So the mortal temples refers to the forehead and the back head of a king. Particularly, we may not see every person wearing a crown. Only the king is the one who wears a crown. So here the hallowed crown, it comes round the mortal temple of a king. Keeps death his court, and there the antic sits. So antic is someone, you can say jester. So jester is someone who always makes a king happy and flourish with the pleasureness. So how come a kingdom holds an antic? Likewise a kingdom holds the death. So each and every kingdom, it has jester in it. Likewise each and every kingdom, every court holds a death. Scoffing is state and grinning at his pomp. So coughing is literally expressing your sorrowness, and grinning is expressing your smile. So the king faces both the happiness and also the sorrowful state in his life, allowing him a breath, a silent scene. So he is giving a deep breath for each and everything. And here a king, we may have a certain opinion. When you think of a doctor, we used to think that he is wearing white dress. So likewise, there are some characters, some features for a king to maintain. To monarchize, be feared and kill with looks. So to monarchize, we may not, everyone cannot be a king. So only certain people by birth can be herited as a king. Here, unless one is very strong and is very good body structured, he can't be a king. So a king, when we talk about a king, when someone sees a king, automatically they should get fear, and the looks of the king should kill the other person, infusing him with self and vain conceit. Infusing it refers to building something within you. That is, a king wanted to build up himself. He wanted to build his strongness, his self-consciousness, his self-confidence, everything. And he wanted to maintain it as if this flesh which was about her life. So as if whenever a human body, it is literally covered with flesh. Here, if a king, even though his body is also like the other people, a bone covered with flesh, he should have certain qualities. Where brass, impregnable. So impregnable is you cannot go through. How come the quality of the brass cannot be gone through? Likewise, the king should remain the same. He should be very strong and humoured thus. So the Shakespeare has given the whole content, the whole features for a king. But also these features, one or the other time, automatically creates a humanness, makes comedy out of a king. But at last, what happens? Come at last, and with a little pin bores through his castle wall, and farewell king. So finally, we have talking about the outer appearance, the look of the king, the prestige of the king, but also at last, even a small pin can broke through the castle. So king's castle, it will be very strong and it will be made of iron, isn't it? Yeah. So even a small pin can broke through the castle wall. And farewell king, farewell king. When do we say farewell? Towards the end of the thing, we say farewell. Here farewell refers to the death of a king. Cover your heads and mock not flesh and blood. So the Richard too, he says that cover your head. He asks his followers to cover their head, and they need not cover their flesh or their blood. With Solomon reference. So Solomon is something which is holy. Reverence is respect. He wanted only the good respect, which is very holy. He never wanted the fake identity. Often people think that if this king pass away, the other one will be on the post. So let us show respect for them fakely. So I don't want all those fake respect. Throw away respect. I'll throw all those kind of respect. Tradition form in ceremonies duty, for you have but mistook me all this while. We have certain tradition, we have certain formality and certain ceremonious duty. But when we talk about everything, you have mistaken me, you have mistaken me for a while. For all this time, you have taken me in the bad manner. I am not as you think. I live with bread like you, feel, want, taste, grief, need friends. So I am also like you. Even I live with bread. Here bread talks about not the literally bread, but food. So like every people, I have the same food. Feel, want. I do have such kind of opinions. What are my wants and what I don't want. Taste, grief. I too have tasted the sorrowness. I too have faced the sorrowful life in my whole lifespan. Need friends. I am also in need of friends. So again see the two words, feel, want, need, friends. So feel, want. Want is something which you can't live without that. Which you can also live without that. When you go for need, it is your basic need. So he honors friends as his basic need than his other wants. Subjected thus. Apart from all, how can you say to me, I am a king? So how could you come forward to tell me that I am a king? I am also having a food like you. I am also in need and wants like you. I do want friend. I do have enjoyed all the sorrows in my life. But how come you say how come you say that I am a king? So the whole poem, it expresses the power of authority. What will be the power of death and what will be the power of rulers? When a person is a commoner and as a king, how the difference in the post treat him. When he was a king, he was literally honored. But at present, when he was a commoner, his life has been spared to death. So even though it's a king, he will be died one day. He too has a death. Normal human being also has a death and the king also has a death. Death is common for all. Death never differentiates either it is a royal person or the person of the lower class. And Richard too, he comes to know that his death is a gift. So in that short period of time, he expresses these words, and these words were not literally said by Richard too. It were compared, it were in similar to the words that was said by Richard too, which was written as a poem, which was written as a play by William Shakespeare, and at present we are reading the short lines from that as a poem in our portion. So here I conclude my video. Once again I tell you that I have posted the particular content in both Tamil and also in English. If you are in need of that, please like, share, comment and subscribe our channel to get further more updates. Thank you.